I had a great pleasure meeting Tim and several of the team members here last year, and I'm really excited to be here to sort of explore some more of these topics. We have exponential technologies fundamentally disrupting every part of our lives, every business, every industry, and society as a whole. Nothing is going to remain untouched. So, in this tumultuous time of great change, you have two choices. You either figure out how to disrupt yourself, or you just wait around until someone else does it. So really, the only thing you have to hear from me today is this one slide. There is a very big difference between our linear mindset and the actual exponential pace of technology. In the short term, when we see some new technology coming out, we almost always get super excited and think it's going to happen next year. And why don't we have things like flying cars? Right? We were super excited about flying cars 50 years ago, and you would think the Airbuses or the BMWs or somebody could have built us a flying car by now, but it's not here. And so we get incredibly disappointed because it takes a little bit longer on an exponential pace. But on an exponential pace, in the short term, in the early phase, it's doubling, 0.001 to 0.002 to 0.004, and it looks like nothing is happening, but it's doubling. At some point, those two cross, and then you get into this other phase where things are moving so fast that it seems crazy and chaotic. Now, if you can read our genetic information, you can rewrite it. One of our SU companies called Genome Compiler created a software tool to let you drag and drop open source genomes off the open source genome project and manipulate them. So I take a firefly genome and I take an elm tree genome and I'll extract the fluorescence gene and stick it in that tree. I'll just send that new code that I created. I'll probably put my name and maybe a poem in there, send it to a DNA synthesis shop, where a couple days later they'll send me a test tube with new DNA that they just created. I'll just pipette that new DNA, replace the DNA in an elm tree cell, and grow a tree that glows in the dark. Right, so they did a Kickstarter project about a year and a half ago doing this. Right? We can teach your 8-year-old kid how to do this in the garage. It's a bit complicated, a little difficult, but we can do that. Anybody want a glowing tree? Is that anything that we would ever want? Like, is that good for society? Well, interestingly, we have a pretty bad energy problem in the world, and we waste a lot of energy with lights and rooms and street lamps. Imagine just having a nice aesthetic tree that also glowed in the dark, so it provided you the ambient light. It's just naturally using the sun's energy to generate it. Extremely efficient. A little scary, because now we're doing new things. Of course, if you can re-engineer the plants, you can re-engineer the animals, or you can re-engineer humans. Exponential technologies, disrupting every part of our lives, every business, every industry, and society as a whole. What we're talking about is no less than the future of humanity. My last advice for you, the best way to predict this exponential curve is to just create it yourself, right? Get engaged and figure out where it should go, and you will dictate it.